Alright, so I'm going to show you how we're going to make the graph so we can compare how much energy or what types of energy resources are used in the US. We can compare them to how much the energy resources are used in the world, and then you're going to compare them to approximately how much you or your family use this energy through a weekend, for instance. So the first thing you need to do is you're going to open the untitled spreadsheet. So I'll have that prepared for you. It's part of your assignment in our classroom. You need to click on it and it'll bring you to a page that looks like this. When we're creating this, we're going to pay attention to what we put in column A and what we put in column B. That's very important because the program will only make the graph a certain way. Secondly, back at this website, back at your classroom, make sure that you've also opened another tab with your EIA Energy Statistics page. So I already had that page open also, and it's right over here. So I have multiple tabs that I'm going back and forth between. When I'm on my energy statistics page, it should come up like this. See, it says recent statistics, and you see this chart right here. It's a pie graph. Scroll down a little bit. This gives statistics for the US total energy. Then if you scroll down more, it'll give statistics for world energy. What we're looking at is what the world or the US or you and your family consume. Consume means what you use, what you actually put to use in your home and throughout the day. So here I notice, okay, this says total primary energy production. That means how much energy was made by companies, but that's not what we're going to graph. We're going to go under consumption. How much did the United States use amongst people, businesses, factories, and things being transported? But we're looking all of that together. So what we're going to be referencing is right here. So as you scroll, you can even notice if it's the one that's next to the 4 teachers with the apple, you're in the right spot. If it's a little too high up and it's next to these images, you're a little high. Make sure that you're doing total energy consumption. You're going to look at what type of resource there is, and you're going to go across and see how much was used. If you add these numbers up, they equal 100. That means the total amount of energy that was used. So we're splitting it up into a pie chart eventually of how much energy was used by how much of the different resources we used. So we're going to look, we're going to see petroleum. That's what makes gasoline, diesel, crude oil. It's all those different things that petroleum makes. It even makes plastic, but we're looking at energy right now. We're going to look at natural gas. That's like when you light your stove. The gas that, or some people's stoves, when the gas that comes out. Some people have it in their barbecue. And some people, it also heats their house. So natural gas, you can even go to the Ace Hardware, for instance, and fill that metal canister up. That would be natural gas. All right, and then there's coal. We don't use that in our homes directly, but it very well may be what is making our electricity run. Then there's renewable resources. They're starting to be used a little bit more, like wind, solar power, hydroelectric power, and geothermal power. And finally, they separate out nuclear power from renewable because nuclear is sort of its own thing because of its hazardous potential, although it could be a really great resource if used correctly. So we're looking at those and the numbers related. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, petroleum is 36%. Then you're going to click up on your spreadsheet. You're going to put under A what the energy's name is. So you have to type petroleum, and you're going to click on B, and you're going to put 36 and the percent sign. So what you need to do is press Shift and percent. Oh, it already put it in for me. Okay, so then I'm ready for my next one. I'm going to look back and I'm going to say the next one after petroleum is natural gas. Natural gas, 27%. I'm going to go click on A, natural gas. Oops, see, I forgot it, so I'm going to look. Okay, 27. All right, I'm going to put in 27%. If it doesn't recognize it already, my computer kind of has noticed that that's what I'm doing, so it put it in. Yours probably won't, so you still have to press the shift and the number 5, because 5 has the percent sign above it. 27%. So number 3, I'm going to look over here. Coal, 19%. I'm going to write coal and 19%. If it's hard for you to go back and forth, I'd recommend you go ahead and write this down in your notebook, in your Discoveries Lab notebook, so that you can be going back and forth. All right, now we're going to go to renewable, which is 10%. And then we're going to check our last one. We're going to go nuclear, 8%. Okay, so I was very careful and I put what the name of the item, the type of resource was, in column A. Then I put the amount that was used out of 100 over in column B. This represents all of the United States, that 36% or 36 out of 100 somethings of energy was used. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make this into a chart. So I'm going to click on petroleum and then I'm going to go over and highlight just that much. See, now my blue box is surrounding my information. That means it's all selected. I'm going to go up on my toolbar and I see the picture of a graph. It says insert chart and it has the bar graph as the picture. I'm going to select that. It's going to give me different types of charts that I can choose from. I can look at what it would be like with a line graph, with a column graph, with a bar graph. But what I want you to make right now is a pie graph. You can choose which pie graph you use. So for now, let's do that one. And then we're going to say insert. All right, now I want you to pull it and set it over to the side so that we can see that you set up your graph and then it creates the information. See how well now we can visualize how much? 36%. Okay, the blue says the blue is petroleum. Neat. We can see that that was a lot of gasoline, crude oil, diesel, and you could tell me more, were used. Okay, 27% natural gas. Quite a bit of it is used, but not at all as much as the petroleum. And then we're looking at these smaller ones. Okay, well, renewable, that's bigger than I might have expected it to be, but it's still not very much. There's still a lot of pollution created over here, and or we're just going through it very fast. Even if it's not a bad pollution issue, it's going to run out. Then when you go to make your next graph, all you have to do is keep it in column A, column B, and you could put the next words in A, so words and resources, whatever they are, and then numbers in column B. And then you highlight them again just like we did, and you create your next graph. I want you to create all 3 graphs on this document so that I can see them at once and so you can see them all at once while you're analyzing them, because you're going to need to reflect on what they mean. Once you've done that, make sure that you have renamed your spreadsheet. Perhaps you did it right away with your name. Put your name in there and you can go ahead and label it resource graph or resource pie chart. Something like that would be great. And then after you've finished all of that, you can submit it and turn it in as your assignment. Good job.